Ever since dropping their prices on January 13th, Tesla has been making the waves in the auto market. Multiple reports have shown significantly higher demand for Tesla vehicles, and one model in particular is garnering most of it. The Tesla Model Y, for the first time ever, cracked the top 10 list of most popular vehicles purchased in the United States in 2022, claiming the number 6 spot across all vehicles and the number 2 spot among SUVs. And starting in 2023, if the recent trends are anything to go by, it's likely to climb the list by quite a bit more. For this video, I'd like to take the Tesla Model Y and compare it to the top 10 most popular SUVs sold in the US. I will analyze how much it costs to own and operate each car for 8 years and 114,000 miles, which is the average ownership length in the US. I will not include insurance and depreciation costs, as these are tough to calculate on an individual basis and can prove to be a wash in many situations. But I will include fuel and maintenance costs over 8 years. I will also assume a gas cost of $3.30 per gallon, an average of 16 cents per kilowatt hour charging costs for the Tesla, and will use average yearly maintenance costs from CarEdge.com. The fuel costs are current as of the date of this recording. And lastly, I will compare the lowest trim available for each one of the models to optimize for affordability. Let's go ahead and start with the Tesla Model Y's 8-year cost of ownership and see where every other car lands in comparison. The lowest trim Model Y is the all-wheel drive standard range with a starting MSRP of $50,990. As of January 2023, the US offers a federal EV tax credit of $7,500, which this car qualifies for, bringing the MSRP down from $50,990 to $43,490. The Model Y has an electric drivetrain, which is significantly more efficient than a gas drivetrain. This gives the Model Y 117 miles per gallon equivalent and 279 miles of all-electric range, which after 8 years of ownership totals to $5,112 of fuel costs. After factoring in 8 years of maintenance costs at $3,786, the total cost of ownership of a Tesla Model Y is $52,387 over 8 years. This is equivalent to $546 monthly before any interest expense or insurance costs. Now let's begin comparing the top 10 best-selling SUVs in the US, starting with the number 10 spot, Hyundai Tucson. The Hyundai Tucson has a starting MSRP of $26,450. The car gets 29 miles per gallon, which over 8 years costs $12,984 in fuel costs. CarEdge pegs the maintenance cost of this car at $6,361 over 8 years, totaling the cost of ownership to $45,795. This puts the Tucson above the Model Y in affordability, coming in 13% cheaper to own over 8 years or $69 saved per month. Nice. Next, let's look at the 9th spot with the Jeep Wrangler. The Jeep Wrangler has a starting MSRP of $31,195 and it gets 20 miles per gallon, bringing its total fuel cost over 8 years to $18,827. After factoring in $8,318 of maintenance, the total cost of ownership for the Wrangler is $58,340. This puts the Wrangler below the Model Y, coming in 11% more expensive to own or $62 extra per month. Next, it's the Nissan Rogue in the 8th spot. The Nissan Rogue has a starting MSRP of $27,360 and it gets 33 miles per gallon, which equals $11,410 of fuel costs. After factoring in $5,906 of maintenance costs, the total cost of ownership for the Rogue is $44,676. The Nissan Rogue so far is the most affordable of the 4 models, coming in 15% cheaper to own or $80 saved per month, as compared to the Model Y. Now it's the turn of the Ford Explorer at number 7. The Ford Explorer has an MSRP of $36,760 and it gets 24 miles per gallon. This brings the total fuel cost to $15,689, and after factoring in a maintenance cost of $7,214, the total cost of ownership is $59,663. The Ford Explorer claims the last spot on the list so far, coming in 14% more expensive to own or $76 extra per month relative to the Model Y. At number 6, let's look at the Chevy Equinox. The Chevy Equinox starts at $27,990 and it gets 28 miles per gallon. Over 8 years, this equals $13,448 in fuel costs, and after adding $6,893 in maintenance costs, the total cost of ownership is $48,336. The Equinox lands slightly above the Model Y in affordability, coming in 8% cheaper to run over 8 years or $42 saved per month. Now let's get into the top 5, but before we cover those, I would love it if you throw me a like, as it helps the YouTube algorithm show this to more people. Thank you so much. Now at the number 5 spot, we have the Toyota Highlander. The Toyota Highlander has a starting MSRP of $36,420 and it gets 24 miles per gallon. Over 8 years, it has fuel costs of $15,689, and after adding $4,617 of maintenance, the total cost of ownership is $56,726. After 8 years of ownership, the Highlander is 8% more expensive to own relative to the Model Y, or an extra $45 per month. Next, coming in at number 4, we have the Jeep Grand Cherokee. The Grand Cherokee starts at $41,530 and it gets gets 22 miles per gallon. This equals to $17,116 over 8 years, and after layering on $8,387 of maintenance costs, the total cost of ownership for the Grand Cherokee is $67,033. The Grand Cherokee is a whopping 28% more expensive to own over 8 years versus the Model Y, costing an extra $153 per month due to its higher MSRP, high maintenance costs, and poor efficiency compared to the other cars on the list. This is in stark contrast to the number 3 most sold SUV in the US in 2022, which is the Honda CR-V. The Honda CR-V starts at $25,350 and it gets 30 miles per gallon. This equals to $12,551 in fuel costs. And after layering on $5,724 of maintenance, the total cost of ownership for the CR-V is $43,625. The CR-V is 17% cheaper to operate over 8 years, or $91 saved per month, proving to be the most cost-efficient vehicle to operate from this group. And lastly, after accounting for the number 2 most sold SUV in the US and the Tesla Model Y, the number 1 spot goes to, and you probably guessed it, the Toyota RAV4. The Toyota RAV4 starts at $29,124 and it gets 30 miles per gallon, which equals to $12,551 in fuel cost over 8 years. After adding $4,425 in maintenance cost, the total cost of ownership for the RAV4 is $46,080. The RAV4 is 12% cheaper to operate than the Model Y after 8 years, or $66 saved per month. And so this is what the top 10 list looks like from most affordable to least affordable after 8 years. The Model Y sits right in the middle, which might be surprising since the starting MSRP of the car is $50,990, which is 63% higher than the average starting MSRP from this group. This becomes doubly surprising, if that's even a word, when we contextualize the monthly cost against performance. I did this by taking each car's stated 0 to 60 time for all base trims and dividing it by the total cost of ownership over 8 years. If performance is an important buying decision, then the Model Y is the best bang for your buck when comparing the top 10 best-selling SUVs, clocking in a 5-second 0 to 60 time versus everyone else's 6.8 seconds or above. The Model Y is at the top of this list, followed by the Jeep Grand Cherokee and the Ford Explorer. And to the surprise of no one, the Honda CR-V comes in last within this group in terms of performance. Now, if safety is important to you, surprisingly, the Tesla Model Y is the only SUV of this list that is rated 5 stars across all categories according to NHTSA, which is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration of the United States. Every other SUV received a 4-star in rollover safety, and some received 4 or less stars in other categories as well. And so within this context, after accounting for fuel and maintenance costs, safety and performance, even with its high starting MSRP relative to other SUVs in the top 10, the Tesla Model Y appears to be set up for success entering 2023 with a really good value proposition versus its peers, and especially so after the recent price cuts. It's important to remember that the Model Y achieved the number 2 spot before Tesla's large price cuts, up to 20% in some instances, in addition to an extra $7,500 EV tax incentive. It will be interesting to see how the car market shakes out in 2023, but one thing appears certain. The Tesla Model Y is likely to be on most people's shopping list when considering an SUV in the United States. But let me know what you think of this video in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you'd like to talk about this or many other topics with my community, consider supporting the channel by becoming a patron using the link on the video description, or by clicking on join right below this video. This will give you access to our private Discord and all the awesome topics we brainstorm on a daily basis. You can also support the channel by purchasing merch by using the link in the description, or you could also use my code to get 15 to 20% off your next Athletic Greens order, plus free vitamin D and travel packs. This is a supplement I've used for years and has truly changed my life for the better. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video was informative and helpful. We'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.